And how's Texas?
What's up? What's up? Doing good, doing good. Can't complain, can't complain.
I feel like in Texas, like, is everyone getting deported right now? Like, what's going on?
I guess so. I mean, I pretty much live under a rock when it comes to like world event stuff, even if it's like happening right here. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
More peaceful that way.
Yeah.
But anyways, for some reason I've been thinking about pet peeves a lot, and so I wanted to ask you, like, what are some major pet peeves you have?
Uh, it's funny that someone actually just asked me that exact question like at work. And what I told them was, so I don't drink at all, right? No alcohol, not even a little bit. Some people say like, oh, I only drink like for like special occasions a little bit. But me, like absolutely not at all. Not even a little bit. But one of my pet peeves is as soon as I tell someone that, they'll immediately try to give me a sip of something. They'll like be like, "Hey, try this," or like I just told you. That's a big one.
You know what? That makes me think of my friends that don't drink at all. They say they get annoyed because people are like, "Oh, like, do you have a problem? Like, do you ever get that?"
I don't really get that. They go straight to like offering me some for
That's
some
so
reason.
weird. It's like if you're like, "Hey, do you do meth?" Now here, like,
Yeah,
so weird. For me, and this is so silly, but I hate when people like are wearing something that still has the tag on it. Cuz that tells me either you're too lazy to take the tag off, you're trying to flex that you paid 20 bucks for a shirt, or you're like wearing it one time and you're trying to return it.
yeah,
It's just like, why are you doing that? But I feel like I don't know about you, but we have so much like Aries energy right now. It's Aries season, Mercury and Aries, Neptune and Aries. And to me, that's like a very fiery, like I feel like we're in this crash out energy where I feel like I don't know, I just think it's more likely for people to get like fired up right now, like get mad at people.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That would explain what just happened to me in the gym parking lot.
Well, what happened?
Well, I guess I gotta preface, I wasn't like in the best mood already. Like I was like feeling just like pissed off, just like low energy. I really did not want to even do that workout, but I dragged myself through it anyway because it's who I am. It's what I do. It's Werewolf Initiative, right?
Yeah.
So I do the whole thing. I'm all drenched in sweat. I'm tired. I've barely eaten anything today. Haven't had enough water, so I like feel like all delusional and like tired. So I'm just ready to get out of there. And so I get to the parking lot and I'm in the overflow parking. So it's like this empty lot with like gravel and dirt and like some metal pipes sticking out. It's kind of sketchy. But like the dirt turned into mud because it just rained. So there's more mud than usual. And people like squeeze in like 3 rows of worth of cars in there. If it was paved with like lines and everything, it really should be only like 2 rows of cars
Mm.
to like really be able to get out. So it was full, it's packed. It's like in the afternoon, and you already know I hate going in the afternoons. So it's packed, but I make it through, just trying to get out, and I'm like inching my way out from behind this car, doing the whole all the way to the left, all the way to the right, trying to inch my way out. But unbeknownst to me, there's this crazy lady watching me the whole time, apparently. But I don't know that until I finally get out. And I see her like in my rear view trying to like flag me down. So I like, you know, put my window down and like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I just watched you hit that car like 3 times. I took pictures. I'm gonna go get the person. I'm like, what? Like, and I'm feeling like I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm tired. I don't
Did
want to
you
deal
hit
with
the
this.
car?
No, like if I would have hit it, I would have felt the recoil.
So it's like a literal like Karen moment that was happening.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was giving like right away. It's like this is like immediately giving Karen. So I'm already just like, get the fuck away from me. So I ask her like, did I hit it or did I like touch it? She's like, I don't know, but I'm gonna go get the person that owns the car. So it's like that's another red flag. Um, I ask again, did it leave any marks? I don't know, but I'm gonna go get the person that owns the car. It's already like, so for one, it's not her car. She can't tell me definitively that it has any marks. she's already giving Karen vibes. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm out of here, man. Like,
See, that
I
to
got
me is
this.
so Aries though. Like that's what I'm talking about. Just that anger for no reason.
Yeah, I'm like, I got this podcast on my mind. I'm tired. I want to eat something. So I just drove away. It's like it just pissed me off though, because like I don't bother nobody. I just stay to myself for the most part.
I get what you mean. Well, thanks for being a trooper and still coming on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that you said that you didn't want to work out, but you still did it anyways. Like, I know that you're really like hardcore into working out, obviously. It's like your whole thing.
Yeah.
But and maybe in the beginning of your journey or even now, like what do you think was the biggest block towards, being fit? Like what was the hardest thing you had to overcome?
I don't really remember there being anything to like overcome in the very beginning. It was very like just like fiery in the beginning. Like this is my thing. I would spend like 2 or 3 hours in the gym, no problem. I'd do like an unnecessary amount of volume. I'd do like 3 workouts in like two
Nice.
hours. Like it's not there's really nothing to overcome at all in the beginning. But it's when the motivation goes away, that's when it gets hard.
Okay, so motivation, maybe you could say, was like a hardship, I guess.
Yeah. But it's not even that came up much later. Like after I've already been doing it for a few years. Like
Mhm.
that's probably the hardest thing. But
Well, you
like
also seem to have a lot of like self-discipline. Like for me personally, what tends to affect me is I feel like sometimes my emotions get in the way. I'm just like being honest. Like for instance, if something bad happens or like I'm super like sad about something, I start to feel like, like who cares? Like it's not that big a deal. So I wish that I could. I mean, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, but that is definitely a blockage for me.
yeah, so it's kind of like the opposite.
Yeah. So one thing too, so you and I have known each other how long do you think? Since maybe like 2000, what do you think, like 19?
Probably even a little bit more than that. I
Really?
definitely remember Nick was his name. Was that like earlier than that, like 2018, 2017, probably?
It would definitely be like I think 2018 on, definitely not 2017.
Yeah, and I was following you like even longer before that. Funny story about that, like you know how you sometimes purge followers, you like go through and like cleanse out your people you follow. I did that multiple times over the years, but for some reason I just felt to let's never unfollow you for some reason.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, that's
Even
good
if
to know.
even if I went through like years where I wasn't really paying attention to the content, I was like, I shouldn't hit the unfollow on her for some reason. And
Oh,
then we
that's
eventually became friends.
Yeah, yeah, like, I remember, and I'm not gonna go into detail, but I remember, like, when we first connected, I feel like you were not in the best space, and I've really seen you grow, like, such a crazy amount, because and I'm proud of you for it. Because some people and I'm not putting them down, but some people, it's like year after year, it's the same problem, which even me, like, we all have those things that we go through, and it takes a long time to break the pattern, but you really, like, had a huge breakthrough. Like I can't really pinpoint the time, maybe you can, but I'm just so proud of you. Like you have like just bro, like I don't even know what to put what words to use. And I like that you have, your whole thing werewolf initiative, like live powerfully. And I love that. Could you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So pretty much when I first reached out to you for like the very first reading, I was a completely different person than what I am now. So I was the complete opposite. I was skinny, unhealthy, unconfident, deeply just unsatisfied, depressed, and I you watch me become the complete opposite over the years with like each reading. And there were times where I paid for like some coaching from like big names in like the fitness industry or whatever, but it's your readings that help me the most.
Oh, that's so sweet. I think it's because, or at least from my perspective, I feel like maybe it's because I feel like with fitness coaches, they're like, just get up and do it. You know what I mean? And my approach is more like spiritual because obviously they all go hand in hand, like physical,
Yeah,
spiritual, mental.
it's way more personalized because you actually have a way to like gauge what's going on like internally, like how to give me like actionable steps from the inside out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the intuitive part, definitely. And that's why, like, I love working with people, especially new people, because I think that they because people call me like a fortune teller, like a palm reader, which I've never read a palm like in my life. I actually have this picture as a joke because somebody gave it to me because they thought I was a palm reader, and I just hung it ever since. Like I just think it's funny. But I think people expect me to say like, oh, in 20 years you're gonna have $1 million and this and like I just don't do that. Like it's more like, hey, I see you're struggling with this, and I feel like this is the direction you should go, and this is kind of like what your guides are telling you, so I like that you said that because it's not just like, oh, you're gonna make money on Tuesday.
No, it's just like it's telling you what you're dealing with, how to deal with it, and how if you don't deal with it, it's gonna come back to bite you. So
But
it's
have you
very
seen
it's
his Oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's very much what you need to hear, not what you necessarily want to hear.
I get that a lot. Yeah, I let people know what they need to hear, and I try to deliver it as gently as I can. Sometimes I am rough. Like I feel like some people need to be kind of get some tough love. But I was just laughing like Jeb Bush is in the chat. You see that?
Is that like a politician or something?
Yeah, well, obviously it's not the real one, but yeah, yeah, he's like related to George W. Bush. Somebody said, so how does it work? I'm guessing that they mean the spiritual work. So I do tarot readings and I do Reiki, so like energy work. So basically I just set the intention to connect with you and messages start coming in, or I do some energy healing. But anyways, back to our thing. So yeah, we've known each other a long time. And actually I feel like more so recently that we became more like friends. Cause I think for a while it was strictly like, client, and now we're like friends. I feel like we're so much on the same wavelength. Like we see all the same like synchronicities and stuff. It's been so crazy.
Yeah. I don't even have any words. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't
um
put a question mark where God put a period, right?
so I also wanted to get into some like, I don't even know what to call it, men's topics, I guess. Cuz I feel like all I see, maybe just because I am female, I feel like I'm always seeing like women's support groups or things about women's rights. And I don't see a lot about men's health, mental health. I would love to see more of it. And I have some male clients that are really amazing people that I have helped so much. And I just kind of want to bring more awareness to men's issues. Even though I'm not a man, I just feel like if I can speak to women about it, it, you know, will become more of a conversation. So, just off the top of my head, what do you think are some of the most common like male insecurities?
Um,
And this can be about like anything.
anything. Well, I know from experience, like starting off from where I was, just not being taken seriously. Which so men are generally valued on things that take a long time to build. So you'll see like a job you want to go for, a girl you want to go for, and you just haven't built yourself up enough to even be able to like stand a chance with those things. So you have to go on a long journey and build yourself up in all these different ways to then be qualified to have the things that you want to go out and get. And nothing's going to be handed to you. So not being taken seriously, not having access to the things that you want, that is on one hand a detriment, but you can turn it into fuel by just doing the work.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. So basically that even though if you're working on something and don't have much to show for it, maybe in the moment it seems like you're a lesser man. Is that kind of
It can feel like it, yeah.
yeah. Real quick before I keep going with that. So somebody asked, how do you sign up for it? I have a website somewhere on my channel, so go check out the website. What about like
Physicality is another one. So we're born pretty much clean slates. We don't have really much muscle mass at all. I mean, we're just born like stupid, immature, skinny boys,
but no, imagine a baby comes out looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
right? Yeah. Like, I wish it was that way, but it takes a
Not for
long
the
time.
mom.
Yeah, yeah. But it takes a long time to build that masculine frame that society generally, celebrates or wants us to become like pillars of society. It takes a long time of like bolts and cuts, and you have to make all the mistakes, and you have to work out when you don't want to, like how I just did right now. You have to do years worth of that to even get to where you want to be.
Yeah, I think there's something you posted I really liked. It said something like, great men aren't born, they're like
They're
chiseled
yeah,
into
they're
greatness or something.
forged. Yeah, they're
For-
forged by fire. We're built for adversity. Like that's how we become men. That's how we become these symbols, these pillars of society. We have to go on that. That's why the story of like the hero's journey exists, right? Because we're built for that. We have to go out and hunt for whatever we want to become. We have to fight for it. We have to fight for every bit.
And it's funny because those heroes are the stories are so unrealistic too. Like I just thought of Hercules. Like Hercules originally was like this scrawny, kind of awkward, clumsy guy, and then the gods like bestowed upon him strength and power, and it's so unrealistic. And the same thing goes for women. Like we see these romantic comedies, and it's like you meet a guy who's a total jerk, and then one day wakes up and he realizes he's in love with you. So I feel like stories and culture can really help people and hurt people because you might feel like, oh, one day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to magically be super strong and super tough. Do you think that guys also maybe struggle with like not just fitness or things like that, but maybe like their height or like their eye color or something?
For sure. Yeah. But those are things you can't change. But there are a lot of other things that we can work on that not necessarily compensate, but there's just other things you can focus on that matter a lot more anyway.
True. I actually really like this comment. It says, do you think that is correct for society to require men to go through this trial to feel valid? Is it healthy to create that negativity as a driving force for success?
Yeah, absolutely. There is definitely a rite of passage. There's definitely an element of that that's necessary.
I
I
think too,
think,
if you earn something, I think it also just means more too.
yeah, yeah. And what was the other half of that question?
Is it healthy? I think they're saying like, is it healthy like when you have that negative feeling that kind of motivates you to do better?
Well, we all experience the vibration of negativity to some degree. Men, especially when they feel isolated and they don't really necessarily have the support, so they have the choice to internalize that negativity and alchemize it into something positive, like what I've done.
Yeah. And that's why I love working with men too because I feel like so many men that I know or I come across, they don't really have a support system, especially not an emotional support system. And so I feel like since I'm a female, I have enough of that nurturing energy, but I feel like I'm in touch enough with my masculine side that I can also make it feel kind of like I'm a bro, like a nurturing bro.
Yeah.
But that does suck. I even recently I was Googling and I was like, what are some things men can do for self-care? And really all I saw was exercise, sleep, and manage money. Which yeah, those are good for anyone to do, but there was nothing like I feel like if I searched for that for women, it'd be like get your nails done, get your hair done. So is there anything you do for self-care that's different than just, sleeping and eating?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's there's even like a little bit, I guess, of a narrative, a stigma around the word self-care. It's kind of a touchy word for guys. I don't know why. I guess it's, I don't know, feminine or something. They just don't want to. But if you don't address self-care, if you don't address like the rest and digest aspect of the body, you're gonna just burn yourself out. And that's what I had experience with. So if you don't, you know, take control of that, it's just gonna hurt you in the long run. So what I do is, I mean, stretching, a bit of, actually I do a lot of yin yoga. Is actually really good to balance out that yang.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know yin yoga is, well, it's yoga, but it's a lot less like active. It's kind of more of like resting. Like yin
It's
represents the
restorative, yeah.
feminine. Yeah, yin represents the feminine. So it's more kind of like long periods of stretching, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Massages have come really in handy.
Ooh. I could go for a massage for sure. No, but I like that. And I think that more men should go to like therapy. But it's also important to find the right kind of coach or therapist too, whether it's a spiritual person or somebody else. Because I think that especially since men are supposed to be tough, like strong. You could have the wrong person that's be like, get over it or like grow up, you know. But I do think that it's important that there's no stigma, especially for men to seek that kind of help because I think men need it more at this point. I feel like women were not so shy to be like, yeah, I go to a therapist. Um, and especially, you know, I've seen a lot of things recently where it's women being like, I don't need no man. Like, I make enough money. I look good. I can do whatever I want. And that's great. But what are the men for? You know what I mean? So when you see something like, oh, I don't need no man, you know, how does that make you feel?
Mm, well, I'll see that, and I'll just think, well, good luck to you. Good luck finding fulfillment that way. I'm gonna go find someone that will appreciate me, and I mean that's really the end of it. I guess in the very beginning, I would get like kind of like triggered internally to be like, why would you say something like that? But now it's just like, well, I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah. I feel like the only equivalent for women would be like men getting robot girlfriends.
Yeah, that's yeah, kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is sad, you know, I wish that I don't know. I think a lot of people tend to overcorrect, right? So kind of like this idea that like women deserve rights. Yes, of course. Women deserve this. Yes, of course. But then it's so much that it's like we can do everything a man can do and that's where it's an overcorrection. So at some point I feel like we're going to shift a little bit towards a happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you absolutely are free to do everything a man can do, but you're gonna find out how taxing that is, how tiring that is. You're gonna find out. You're gonna just end up burned out, and like you're gonna find it's not really all it's cracked up to be. It kind of sucks actually, but yeah, you are absolutely free to do it if you want.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
around and find out, I guess.
Yeah, very true. Um let's see. So we talked about a lot of things. Um let's see. What are some of your, like, favorite shows right now? Like, do you binge any shows?
Actually, yeah, going back to self care, I've been getting more like into movies and shows. Like I'll just veg out on my days off and just binge watch stuff. Shows, I haven't really been into any shows. I've been just watching a lot of horror movies.
Those are my favorite.
Watched like the Howling series, really good. It's like a werewolf movies.
Nice. Werewolf Initiative. That's one thing too, I think we kinda got sidetracked. I was asking you about, like, because 'cause you're Werewolf Initiative, but to you, it's more than just, like, a brand, like, this is, like, a lifestyle. So, like, kinda talk to us about that because I love when you talk about it.
Yeah, it's not just like a fitness page. I'm not out to just help people lose fat and build muscle. It's like a total package. It's a whole from the inside out life reform type of thing. So it's basically mental. It's the physical, but it's also the mental and the spiritual. It's a whole holistic package of just making you a more powerful version of yourself.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm really grateful for you, because I haven't been the best client of yours, but it has still helped me so much with just, like, the bare necessities, like, you told me about is it called Fitness App or Fitness Pal? The one that
uh,
you put the food on?
yeah, you just track your food with MyFitnessPal. Yeah,
My Fitness Pal. Yeah, anybody watching, go get that shit because I swear it's helped me so much just to really understand what I'm eating. Because it's not just about the calorie number, but like the fat, the carbs, the protein, and some. It's even helped me make decisions. Like if I'm choosing between like tacos or pizza, I'll say, okay, which one's like a little bit better. You know what I mean? So it helps me like decision making. It helps me kind of take accountability and like also just see like what it is that I'm eating because I might think like, oh, actually, this is a good example. I don't eat sweets a lot, but every once in a while, like somebody will just like give me some as like a gift. But I really like these like certain cookies. It's like a cracker with like some cream in the middle. And I looked at the calories and for two cookies, it was like 400 calories. I was like, like, I would have never thought that if I didn't, like, start consciously thinking about it. So I feel like even just the bare minimum tools you've given me has helped a lot. I just need to overcome my own kind of blocks that I have, like, with the emotions. And also when my schedule gets messed up, it's hard for me to, like, get back on it. But It has helped me a lot though, and I hope to to rededicate myself to it. But honestly, in like 1 week, I lost 4 pounds,
Yeah.
like a couple
And
weeks ago. And then I got derailed, so who knows? But like seriously, like when you do take it seriously and you have the tools like what you gave me, it does help a lot. Because I think some people you say like, go off numbers, not off vibes.
yeah. Yeah, because if you just go off the vibes, it's gonna be way more, or it's gonna be way above or way under what it should be.
Hmm. Yeah, and what I love too is, I'm actually starting to be a fan of the carnivore diet, like just eating like protein all the time, like just steak or like eggs.
And it works for some people sometimes.
Well, what's your opinion? Do you think it's kind of just like a fad, or like what do you think?
Um, yeah, I think it overall. I mean, there are tons of fads out there. I think really what you should do is like a balance of pretty much everything is kind of ideal for like 99% of people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you do need like certain vitamins. You do need like the fiber. It's just like all kinds of stuff that you're just not getting from just like exclusively one thing.
No,
I
yeah,
think it's
that's true.
I think it's rare to thrive off like two or three foods.
Yeah, no, that's fair. One thing that I think is really cool, I've heard about like eating specifically for your blood type, which I think is like really a good idea, but also even
Yep.
like thinking about what your ancestors ate. Because if for millions of years your ancestors ate like this food group, you're probably, well,
Yep.
you never know, but you're probably better off that way. Because your body's probably used to digesting that type of stuff. But also, and I don't want to get too much into this, but in America, like there's so many chemicals in all of our food. So it's also kind of like you could eat the same things, but it still might not be good for you.
Yeah, but then you get into like all the like toxin buildup that could come from just eating a few exclusive things. So you need other stuff to like balance it out to like detox, naturally detox.
That's
So
true.
there's that element as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like your ancestors ate a certain way, and yeah, I'm sure there's truth to that. But then they also didn't have like science back then. So like if they're trying to like, if you have the modern goal to like burn fat and build muscle, you need to like exercise a little bit more um, exact methods.
Yeah. Somebody asked to say happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kelly. But yeah, no, I get what you mean too. Cause I was also thinking like when I said that, like, let's say you're Irish and like your ancestors were in the potato famine and all they lived off of was potatoes, like that's not a good idea to like follow that.
Yeah, it might work for a little bit, but then I'm sure you'll run into problems eventually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that helped me a lot. And if you weren't doing so you do massage and you do like fitness, if you were not doing those things and you had a totally different job and don't even like money's not a thing, what would you do?
I would just be a hermit, just just be at home and then just go straight to the gym and come straight back.
See, that's funny because you're a Virgo and the card of Virgo is the Hermit.
Yep. I have very intense introvert vibes. There's that, and then we did that like past life reading where we pretty much found out, I'm just born to be a black sheep, just a loner, and I have been for very many lifetimes, especially this one. So I just have I have like six Virgo placements. So I have like very intense like black sheep loner vibes, and
Yeah.
I've just come to like go with it, accept it.
Yeah, but I
I've
like your
gotten a lot of
energy.
power
It's
from
like
that.
yeah, and I like your energy because it's so grounding. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like you're kind of like more present and like slower pace. So I like that a lot. For me, like, and this is a weird job, but I've always like my dream job my whole life. I wanted to work in a movie theater and be the person that rips your tickets.
You can still do that.
You know what? Maybe I should. Like, I actually might, but I just, for some reason, like my whole life, I love going to the theater and I used to ask them if I could rip my own tickets, but I've always just want to be like, theater two to your left, like enjoy the show. Like, I don't know why, but that's like my dream, like top tier job.
Maybe that's what you were in a not so distant past life or something.
Yeah, probably. Probably like the best job I ever had in a past life. Yeah, that's like my dream job, definitely. So that's funny. I think that like, but yeah, I guess if I didn't have to do anything, I don't know. I feel like I would just go to like different parts of the world just asking people questions. Like I just like for instance, I really like history, but not so much like, oh, in 1813 there was this war. Like I want to know about Christian Kelly from 1730, like, what did he do every day? You know what I mean? Like, when he woke up, did he have to, like, shoot a deer? Or, like, did he have to walk 3 miles to get a bucket of water? Like, I just love hearing people's stories, and especially from the past, because I feel like most people's stories today is like, "Oh, yeah, I was on my phone, and then, like, I saw this twerking video." You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But so have you noticed anything like interesting in the fitness world, like just some weird trend or like thing that maybe you don't like?
Uh, Again, I mean, I kind of live under a rock when it comes to everything that's not related to me, but I guess like um steroids and like SARMs are pretty normalized. And I don't really necessarily care for that. It's kind of an unhealthy thing to push and like put that narrative out there because you see like these pictures of like guys that have attained unreasonable physiques in like a really short amount of time, and it kind of distorts people's expectations just getting into the gym. But that's kind of what I noticed, kind of like glancing over at all that over there. But again, I say to myself, I kind of live under a rock, so I don't really pay attention to much else. That's probably the biggest thing.
No, but that's good though. I used to be like that a lot, but I've been trying to like branch out. But one thing I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that they're gonna start some type of, I don't know if it's Olympics, but some type of sports competition where it's just dudes on steroids against other dudes on steroids.
Doing like actual Olympic sports.
Yeah, or I don't know if it's Olympic sports, but some type of like bodybuilding or like competitive sport thing. Like I don't know if it's supposed to be boxing or like soccer or something, but they want to like just have a bunch of like drugged up muscle guys like competing against each other.
Yeah, it's giving like gladiator vibes. Just like mutants fight each other. That's what's up.
No, you know what I'm actually really into that I think would surprise a lot of people? I actually love boxing and like kickboxing, and I just started watching bare knuckle fighting.
I've seen that around. Yeah, it's like in the reel sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like, yeah, I mean, I feel kind of bad that like people are getting beat up, but like they signed up for it.
yeah, it's good entertainment. Yeah,
And I think that's probably like the oldest sport in the universe.
yeah. Bare knuckle boxing. Yeah,
Yeah.
or like hunting probably. Besides that,
True, true. Yeah, hunting. I wonder, I feel like hunting is kind of a sport.
yeah, it's a lot of running. It's a lot of chasing after a little helpless creature.
Oh. Well, we gotta eat. Oh, and my bird watching, I'm like full into the bird watching. I sometimes I don't know what they're called. But, you know, some birds have crazy ass names. Like there's one called a titmouse.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, what
A lot of
scientist
tits.
guy?
Yeah, there's a lot of tits and like boobs. Is another one, right?
Yeah, like in all the names, I'm like, yep, like some like really horny guy was looking at some birds. Or even, you know, I just put it together that one of the like nicknames for women is birds.
Is that why they say that's for the birds? Is that where that saying comes from?
That's so rude. If it is, that's so mean. Actually, I saw this video of this like really old man and he's telling a joke and he's like, I saw three women walking that away. And I said, hey, you three women, why you walking that away? And I went, oh, they're just some birds.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
don't
that
know if
guy.
he was like drunk or what, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it seems like a character. I want to talk to that guy.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so many interesting people that I wish I could like bring on the show, but I feel like it's not safe, like the kind of people I want to interview.
What do you mean?
Well, like I don't know if this is just like a southern thing or whatever, but I go to the dollar store like all the time. It's not really a dollar store, but like kinda. And just to get, dog food and like little things, toilet paper or whatever. And sometimes there's just the most crazy type of people, like not necessarily in a dangerous way, but just like quirky, like you can't tell like if they just came out of a bush or like if they have a house and they're just like singing and shit and they're like, "Hey, God bless you, man." They're like, and I want to be like, "How did you get here right now? Like what do you think about when you wake up?" But then I just feel like I don't really want to like invite them into my house.
Well, you can do those videos like they do on the street, just walking up to people.
Now you're
Just have
thinking.
Chris go with you or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not go by myself. But yeah, no, I think that that's great. Let's see, what else could we talk about? Oh yeah, so when you like have a lazy day, do you still work out on your lazy day?
I used to, and that's how I ended up getting like a panic attack multiple times. So I'll use that time to stretch or go get a massage, or active recovery is what it's called. Just actively recovering, trying to get that whole process going. Like cold plunge is really good. Sauna, I'll sit in the sauna for a bit. I'll just walk on the treadmill. So yeah, I don't work out anymore on off days, but I'll do like active recovery.
Yeah. Listen to this. Do you think tomato soup is better than having wet socks near a crocodile?
Uh, yes, but only on Wednesdays.
That's a good answer. But yeah, when you do your yin yoga though, do you actually go to like a yoga place or do you do like a YouTube thing?
Yeah, I'll go to the. We have a place here called Black Swan.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't have anything else to really talk to. Is there something that you wanted to mention?
Uh, Off the top of my head, not really. I mean, I think we pretty much hit a bit of everything.
Sounds good. Well, is there anything you want to plug? I see you've got some like product placement in the back with your wrap cup or whatever.
Yeah, I'm an affiliate with them now. So use my code Luna. Check out Raft Performance. Some badass bodybuilding subs.
Yeah, I'll link his
Even if you're
stuff.
not a bodybuilder, I mean, everyone could benefit from like creatine.
Yeah, so I'll link his stuff below and have his code for like supplements. I think there's some clothes and stuff too you can get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some badass shirts.
So I'll link that below. But guys, if you have Instagram or TikTok, Werewolf Initiative, follow him, check him out. He's motivational, he's really helpful, he's all around a good guy. Highly recommend. And thanks for being on the show. All
Appreciate it.
right, thank you. Bye.